Have you noticed your legs feeling weaker, heavier, or sore after 60, even when you believe you're doing everything right? You're not alone. Many seniors experience a silent decline in muscle strength without knowing the real causes. Surprisingly, two common vitamins often considered essential for good health might actually be undermining your leg's stability and strength after 60. Today, I'll reveal the two worst vitamins that weaken your legs, how they accelerate muscle loss, cause inflammation, and even increase your risk of falls. Understanding this hidden truth could help you protect your freedom, mobility, and independence as you age. Along the way, we'll also uncover everyday foods that worsen these vitamin imbalances, foods that may seem harmless, but quietly fuel leg weakness, swelling, and discomfort. So, stay with me until the end, because simple changes could make all the difference in keeping your legs strong for life. If you care about your health and want to maintain a vibrant, active lifestyle after 60, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Together, we'll discover how to stay stronger, live longer, and enjoy every step of the journey. Number 1. Vitamin A. Overconsumption. The hidden attack on your legs. For many seniors, taking vitamins seems like a simple, smart way to stay healthy. After all, you have been told for years that vitamins are vital for strong bones, sharp vision, and healthy skin. Yet what most people don't realize is that using too much vitamin A can slowly rob your muscles of their strength and stability, turning daily activities like walking, standing, and climbing stairs into exhausting tasks. Too much vitamin A doesn't just pass harmlessly through the body. Instead, it accumulates over time, storing itself quietly in your liver and your joints. This buildup may seem invisible at first, but inside, it is blocking the absorption of two key minerals, calcium and magnesium, that are absolutely essential for muscle contraction, bone flexibility, and overall energy. Without enough calcium and magnesium available, your muscles lose their natural rhythm and elasticity. Suddenly, standing up feels heavier, walking across a room causes cramps, and even simple movements seem to take more effort than they should. In the beginning, it starts small, a feeling of slight weakness after gardening, an unexpected cramp while reaching for something high. Many seniors brush it off, thinking it's just part of getting older. However, when vitamin A overload continues unchecked, the damage compounds. Muscles weaken further, making it harder to balance or carry your body weight. Cramps become more frequent and painful. Over time, your bones, already vulnerable after 60, they start losing density. They become brittle, fragile, and alarmingly easy to fracture, especially in critical areas like the hips and legs. A minor slip could suddenly lead to a broken bone, months of painful recovery, and even the loss of independence. What makes this situation even more heartbreaking is that it often comes from a place of good intentions. You take your multivitamin every morning, believing you are doing everything right, unaware that you might be quietly fueling the very problems you fear the most: muscle loss, instability, and frailty. I have seen this firsthand. A close neighbor, a spirited woman named Linda, was religious about her supplements. She believed more was better. Yet over time, she began struggling with chronic soreness in her legs, a stubborn stiffness that wouldn't go away. Climbing her front porch steps, once a minor task, became a daily battle. When she eventually fell and fractured her hip, it wasn't a freak accident. It was years of unseen damage coming to the surface. No one had warned her that excess vitamin A could turn from friend to foe. That's why it's vital for seniors to stay informed. Even nutrients we trust can betray us when we take too much without monitoring. Moderation matters more than ever after 60, when the body processes vitamins and minerals differently than in younger years. It is crucial to check how much vitamin A you are consuming daily, including both your diet and any supplements. Foods, naturally rich in vitamin A like liver, egg yolks, and fortified cereals, combined with high-dose multivitamins, can easily push your levels too high without you realizing it. Even though vitamin A is essential, its power must be respected. A little supports your health. Too much can gradually take away your strength, your balance, and your freedom. If you have ever experienced sudden cramps, muscle stiffness, or unexplained fatigue in your legs, it might be time to look beyond aging as the only reason. Sometimes it's not your age at all. It's the silent impact of what you are putting into your body every single day without realizing the cost. I invite you to reflect on your current habits. Comment number 1 below if you relate to this. Hidden truth, or if you've had your own experiences with unexpected leg weakness. Feel free to share your journey or any changes you've noticed. Your story could inspire someone else to protect their health too. And if you find this information helpful, don't forget to pass it along to someone you care about, because knowledge shared is power multiplied. Number 2, everyday foods that worsen vitamin A, damage without you realizing. Many seniors are careful with their supplements, but overlook something far more common and just as dangerous: the foods they eat every day. It's not always the vitamins themselves that cause harm. Often, it is the silent choices on our plates that trigger the dangerous accumulation of vitamins like vitamin A inside our bodies. You may believe a slice of cake or a scoop of ice cream is just a small treat, but over time, these innocent indulgences quietly strain your liver and your ability to eliminate excess vitamins. When the liver becomes overloaded with refined sugars and unhealthy fats, it loses its ability to properly filter and process nutrients. Vitamin A, which should be metabolized and balanced, instead builds up, silently fueling muscle weakness, joint stiffness, and fragile bones. The first group of culprits often hides behind sweet smiles. Cakes, candies, pastries, and commercial desserts may look harmless, offering comfort on a rainy day or a celebration. Yet these foods are loaded with refined sugars that spike inflammation throughout the body. Every bite feeds the hidden processes that weaken your muscles and joints. At the same time, the liver, which is already slower in seniors, struggles harder to keep up. Instead of clearing the excess vitamin A, it allows it to settle, setting the stage for long-term damage. The result may not be visible overnight, but months and years of such habits lead to declining energy, increased cramps, stiffness after resting, and legs that feel heavy and unsteady. Beyond the sweet treats lies another everyday danger: fried foods and processed snacks. French fries, fried chicken, instant noodles, canned soups, frozen dinners. All these are quick, easy, and tempting, especially when you do not feel like cooking. However, these foods are rich in trans fats, sodium, and chemical preservatives. They ignite chronic inflammation deep within your muscles and blood vessels. Over time, this persistent internal fire damages your circulatory system, reduces oxygen delivery to your tissues, and slows the removal of waste products like excess vitamins. With circulation impaired, your legs cannot receive the nutrients they need to stay strong. The accumulation of vitamin A worsens in this hostile environment, leaving your muscles inflamed, your bones fragile, and your joints vulnerable. Think about the typical meal many seniors grab when tired: a prepackaged soup, a frozen entree, maybe a bag of salty chips. These seem convenient, but over time we create a perfect storm. The liver bogs down, the kidneys work overtime, the arteries lose flexibility, and vitamin imbalances grow unchecked. The next thing you know, a small stumble leads to a serious injury, or persistent leg cramps steal away your confidence to walk around the block. It is not just aging, it is accumulation. One slice, one package, one quick meal at a time. What makes this problem even harder to spot is how familiar and normal these foods feel. Sweet desserts remind us of celebrations. Fried foods bring comfort and nostalgia. Processed meals promise ease when life feels busy or tiring. But behind these emotions, your body is paying a price it cannot afford. Fortunately, small, steady changes can reverse this trend. Choosing fresh fruits instead of sugary desserts, baking instead of frying, cooking simple meals from natural ingredients. These are not sacrifices, but investments into your mobility, your independence, and your quality of life after 60. If you recognize some of your favorite foods in this description, know that you are not alone. It is not about guilt. It is about awareness and gentle correction. Comment number 2 below if you have ever realized that your eating habits might be silently shaping your health. Share your experiences or even the small swaps you are thinking of making. You never know who you might inspire to walk a little farther, climb a little higher, and live a little stronger. Number 3. Vitamin D overdose, a new silent danger for senior legs. Most seniors know that vitamin D is essential for strong bones and better balance, but what many do not realize is that taking too much vitamin D can quietly turn into a silent enemy for their legs. It may start as something as simple as a minor cramp when getting up from a chair or a stiff feeling after a short walk around the garden. Often these signs are brushed aside, mistaken for normal aging. However, in reality, an overdose of vitamin D can trigger a chain reaction that leads from slight muscle weakness to serious problems with your bones, joints, and mobility. When vitamin D levels build up beyond what the body needs, it causes something called hypercalcemia, meaning there is too much calcium circulating in the blood. At first, this may not seem like a major issue, but excess calcium begins to deposit itself into places it should not go: muscles, tendons, and even the walls of blood vessels. This process, known as soft tissue calcification, turns what were once flexible, strong tissues into stiff, rigid structures. As this hidden damage grows, seniors often find their legs feeling heavier, their knees becoming more painful, and their ankles less flexible. Walking feels more effortful. Climbing a few steps feels like lifting a mountain. Stiffness settles deep into the joints, reducing range of motion and making balance much harder to maintain. Beyond stiff muscles and aching joints, vitamin D toxicity can also attack the kidneys. As calcium floods the bloodstream, the kidneys work overtime to filter it out. In older adults whose kidneys may already be less efficient, this strain can cause serious trouble. Fluid starts to build up in the legs, ankles swell painfully, and the muscles lose strength under the growing pressure. Before long, what began as a harmless vitamin supplement can spiral into leg weakness, constant discomfort, and even dangerous falls. It is heartbreaking because the very seniors who try so hard to take care of their health are often the ones caught by surprise. I remember a man named Harold who lived a few houses down from me. Harold was proud of his independence. At 78, he still mowed his own lawn and loved taking long walks around the neighborhood. His doctor recommended a vitamin D supplement, and Harold, wanting to stay strong, took the advice to heart. But nobody explained the risks of taking too much. Over time, Harold started noticing his legs felt tighter after walks. He began needing more breaks. Eventually, he struggled to climb his front steps without holding onto the railing. One day, he missed his footing, fell hard, and fractured his hip. In the hospital, blood tests showed dangerously high calcium levels linked directly to excessive vitamin D. Harold's story is not unique. It is a quiet warning for all seniors. The lesson here is that moderation matters more than ever after 60. Vitamins are powerful tools, but they must be handled with care. Seniors should always follow their doctor's recommendations carefully and avoid adding supplements without proper testing and advice. Trusting that more is better can lead to unseen damage that steals your strength, your mobility, and your independence. If you have ever felt unexpected stiffness in your legs, unexplained swelling, or sudden cramps after starting a new supplement, it is important to pause and consider the cause. Sometimes the path to staying strong requires not just adding more, but understanding what your body truly needs. Comment number 3 below if this story resonated with you or reminded you of someone you care about. Share your experiences or your thoughts, because every shared story helps build a stronger, wiser community. Number 4. Eating habits that make vitamin D overload worse. Without you knowing. While many seniors try their best to stay healthy, the truth is that everyday eating habits often quietly worsen the hidden dangers of too much vitamin D. It's not just about how many supplements you take, it's about the foods you consume alongside them. Certain meals and snacks, though comforting and familiar, create the perfect storm inside your body. A storm that makes it harder to process excess vitamins and accelerates the damage to your muscles, joints, and overall circulation. Without realizing it, you may be fueling swelling, stiffness, and weakness with every bite. It often starts with innocent treats. Cakes, cookies, and creamy ice creams, especially those heavily processed, are staples in many homes. They bring joy, nostalgia, and sweetness to the day. However, behind the taste, these foods are loaded with refined sugars that inflame blood vessels and strain the liver. When the liver is burdened with sugar, it struggles to filter toxins and balance minerals efficiently. As vitamin D levels rise, the impaired liver cannot keep pace, allowing calcium to build up in the bloodstream, unchecked. Over time, this worsens hypercalcemia, stiffens the muscles, and leads to persistent leg pain, cramps, and even numbness. Seniors might find themselves feeling more fatigued, needing longer to recover from short walks, or sensing their legs dragging heavier than they should. From sweet desserts, the damage expands further into convenient foods that many seniors rely on when cooking feels tiring. Instant noodles, canned soups, processed meats, and frozen dinners seem practical at first glance, but they often come packed with extreme levels of sodium, preservatives, and artificial additives. Sodium, while necessary in small amounts, becomes a silent threat in excess. High salt intake directly raises blood pressure, thickens the blood, and damages the walls of blood vessels. Poor circulation becomes the next silent enemy, starving leg muscles of the oxygen and nutrients they desperately need to stay strong. Meanwhile, preservatives further stress the liver and kidneys, two organs already weakened by aging. This toxic load makes it even harder to regulate vitamins correctly, pushing the body deeper into imbalance. When blood can no longer flow freely, and when muscles are deprived of their vital supplies, the effects are felt daily. Seniors may wake up with swollen feet and ankles, feel strange tingling in their calves, or notice an unsettling heaviness after even mild activity. All of this can trace back to seemingly simple food choices made day after day. One extra salty canned meal, one extra sweet slice of cake, one frozen entree on a tired evening. The body remembers, even if we do not. The most heartbreaking part is how easy it is to dismiss these signs. It's tempting to say, "I'm just getting older," but aging alone does not explain sudden stiffness, deep aching, or a sense of dragging your legs behind you. Much of it is preventable, and much of it can be eased with thoughtful, gradual changes to how we nourish ourselves. The good news is that the body is resilient. By reducing intake of processed foods, cutting back on refined sugars, and embracing fresh fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, you give your liver and kidneys a fighting chance to restore balance. By choosing meals lower in sodium, you help blood vessels relax and muscles receive the oxygen they crave. These small decisions compound over time, quietly rebuilding strength where it matters most: your legs, your heart, your independence. If today's reflection touched a part of your story, I invite you to comment number 4 below and share your experience. Have you noticed changes in your energy, your strength, or your recovery after adjusting your diet? Your words could encourage someone else to take the first small step toward better health and greater freedom. Conclusion. As we have explored today, 2 vitamins often praised for their health benefits, vitamin A and vitamin D, can quietly harm your legs if consumed in excess. Instead of strengthening your body, they may cause muscle weakness, stiff joints, brittle bones, and poor circulation, making everyday movements harder and more painful. Alongside this, familiar foods like sugary desserts, fried meals, canned goods, and instant noodles silently worsen the problem by overwhelming your liver, inflaming your blood vessels, and starving your muscles of essential nutrients. The good news is that awareness brings power. By adjusting your diet, choosing more natural, low-sugar and low-sodium foods, and using supplements wisely, you can protect your mobility, independence, and vitality. It is never too late to give your legs and your entire body the support they truly need to stay strong after 60 and beyond. Now, I would love to hear from you. Have you experienced changes in your energy, muscle strength, or leg health after adjusting your supplements or meals? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience might be the encouragement someone else needs to begin their own journey toward better health. Stay mindful, stay strong, and remember, small steps lead to powerful transformations.